Over to you, Diane.
Thanks, Bob. Well, watching that video shows me that Verizon is in really good company in our sponsorship and support of the CGA and safe digging practices. One thing that I've learned over my 30-year career with Verizon and these past 3+ years as a CGA board member is that network reliability is a shared responsibility. And what do I mean by that? Isn't Verizon accountable for ensuring that our network is the most reliable in the industry? You bet we are. But network reliability is Verizon's brand, and it's our network, which consists of 485,000 route miles across 2,700 cities, touching 150 countries and carrying 2 billion text messages a day, 1 billion phone calls, 400 million emails, and 8.7 petabytes of video. It's our crown jewel. By the way, that much video is the equivalent of 4 million full-length movies. And when our network is not there for our customers, the impact can range from inconvenience and frustration to financial loss, to public safety and quality of life, and in the very worst case, life itself. And before I go any further, I want to mention that back in October, I had the opportunity to share my perspective on this very topic with Outside Plant Expo attendees in Dallas, Texas. And so, if you were there in that audience, it won't be the first time you've heard me say these words. And for those of you who may not be familiar with Outside Plant Expo, it's an annual industry-leading telecom trade show, an educational event focused on wireless and wireline network evolution, and it's hosted by Outside Plant Magazine and attended by telecom network professionals from more than 40 countries. So I took the opportunity to speak in that forum, not only to share information about Verizon's commitment to network reliability, but to raise awareness of the CGA, our critical mission, and the need for strong stakeholder partnerships. Creating and maintaining a reliable network like Verizon's doesn't just happen, and we do not do it alone. We can't do it alone. The ecosystem that supports network reliability is both internal to Verizon, and it includes our people, our processes, our capital investment, as well as external to Verizon, including equipment manufacturers, vendors, other network transport providers, excavators, state and federal government, and more, many of which have representatives here in this room today. Together, we create an ecosystem that drives and supports network reliability. And yes, it can take a village. Internally, Verizon has several key programs focused on ensuring that our network is always on, such as expanding resilient networks with the latest technology and engineering, maintaining the legacy network that we have with a back-to-basics approach, and making sure that our processes are designed to prevent damage from happening in the first place, and of course, ensuring that our people are prepared and held accountable. But today, I'd like to focus on our partners and what we can do together to strengthen our focus and commitment on our shared responsibility to keep communication and utility networks healthy and functioning for all the communities that we serve. The CGA provides today's optimal forum where stakeholders can share information and perspectives and work together on all aspects of damage prevention issues. Since inception, the CGA has grown to over 1,600 individual members, 250 member organizations. I think, Bob, I heard you say 69 sponsors. These numbers keep growing in a positive direction, which is great. And working together allows us to achieve results that would otherwise be impossible. Our 7 working committees, best practices, technology, data reporting and evaluation, educational programs and marketing, One Call Systems International, regional partners, and stakeholder advocacy, each support the CGA mission in a unique yet critical manner. If you aren't already, I ask that you consider serving on one or more of these boards, of these committees, to share your knowledge, your expertise, and experience with other stakeholders. And at a minimum, we ask that you support the efforts of these committees by sharing information and data about your operations. Members from each of our working committees will take the stage throughout the program today to provide updates on our progress, along with more specifics about how you can help. We know that the CGA's membership and participation has increased. The percentage of damages caused because someone didn't call 811 has decreased. The reduction in no-call damages, as we refer to them, is one shining example of what happens when more organizations get involved with a common effort. The most recent DIRT report shows once again that when a locate request precedes an excavation, damage is avoided 99% of the time. Let me repeat that. When a locate request precedes an excavation, damage is avoided 99% of the time. But pushing the CGA to the next level will require more stakeholders at the table and more stakeholders doing more. To that end, I'd like to lead the CGA in finding additional ways to get our current members engaged in all of our efforts and in new member acquisition, especially from within the telecommunications industry, which, as the largest operator of underground facilities, is underrepresented in the CGA. Corporate sponsorships range from bronze at $10,000 a year, silver at $25,000, gold at $50,000, and platinum at $100,000. Let me take a moment right now to give a shout out to Ericsson and Telabs, two telecommunications companies who have both recently signed on as bronze sponsors. We welcome and appreciate this additional and much needed support from our telecom partners. The bottom line is that the more people that are focused on our common goal, the higher the success in preventing damage to buried facilities. In 2013, fiber cuts were still the #1 cause of customer outage minutes on the Verizon network, and this includes transport path segments that we lease from other telecommunications providers as well. And as a major network infrastructure owner, Verizon not only does our own digging, but we often use excavation contractors and subcontractors. So it's abundantly clear to us that the need to focus on safe digging is shared across all stakeholder groups that comprise the ecosystem of network reliability. We owe it to our customers, to our shareholders, and to our community. Each and every one of you in this room today is a pivotal piece of the damage prevention and network reliability puzzle. Our ability to continue putting it all together is dependent upon strong leadership, committee engagement, and continued financial support of the Common Ground Alliance. Damage prevention and network reliability is a shared responsibility. Thank you.
Thanks, Diane. Well said as usual. Thanks to Verizon.